Shalom scattered. Shalom Menelet. Shalom Crystal. Shalom Isaiah.
Shalom, y'all. Hey, y'all want to
Shalom.
come up? Y'all want to come up and read? Don't be shy.
Shalom, family. Shalom. Shalom, Michael. Shalom, Brother Saul.
Shalom.
Shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
Shalom, Yahshua.
Shalom, Brother Soul, Brother Michael, Sister Sage.
Shalom,
Shalom.
Sister Devanya.
Shalom.
Shalom, sisters Devon.
Yo, Hannah's picture kind of scared me, yo. I thought that was little Kim down there or something.
Who the which little kid? The one from North Korea or the rapper?
Nah,
Just say it was North.
Which
yeah,
let's
yeah.
double check.
Maybe a combination of them
Yeah, I
both.
just reached for my sword in the back of me here by the windowsill. I was like, yeah. Oh man.
No.
Shalom to the room.
Shalom,
This how I
shalom,
was
Sister
feeling the other
Hannah.
day.
Sister Hannah.
I was feeling like this, so I posted this.
Oh no, it's
I
gonna be
feel you,
difficult
Hannah.
reading the scripture with that face up there.
They remind me of White Chicks, the movie.
Hey, Sister Sage, you and Sister Adia was eating them up earlier today. I saw y'all.
Man, they crazy. That Bible machine, why he was snorting coke? Man,
Man,
why these
couldn't
people
answer
sitting
none of
up
the
here
questions.
getting high? I
Yo,
mean,
that
Jesus,
dude funny as heck. Yeah.
he was high as nothing, just, oh my goodness, that was terrible. Oh my
And didn't
goodness.
answer no questions. He tried to say, well, I can't have a conversation with y'all if y'all don't believe in the New Testament.
Because he couldn't deal with that
Wow.
Old Testament. That's what it was.
Yes, that's what it was. He couldn't substantiate it.
Ask him why it says ask him why it says in the New Testament why is the law nailed to the cross.
Colossians 2:14 nailed the laws to the cross and said we under the grace of JC. Nobody can explain that one to me.
Remember when it says in the New Testament the law abide nothing?
Hebrews chapter 7. Wait, when you go to Psalms, what is it, Psalms 19:7, it says the law is perfect. You go to Hebrews 7:9, it say the law is not perfect.
Yes.
Wow.
Hmm.
And it's the same numbers, just switched around.
Yep.
Mhm.
Blasphemy.
Yes, it's definitely blasphemy.
And I asked a Christian, I say, I won't make this Christian comment. We finna get into the reading though, but I asked them, when you getting into the writings, that when they say he is the first and the last, because that's what Bible was getting caught up with. He's quoting Yah and saying like him, like JC quoting the same thing, so he must be Yah because he's quoting the same thing that the Most High saying, so they got to be the same person if he's quoting him. It was just crazy to just hear these are their reasonings. When I was in Christianity, I didn't believe that Jesus was the Most High, the Father. So why are they believing that? It's crazy to me.
They're going by the book of the New
Who?
Testament.
That's right.
Because I could show you in the scripture right now where it says JC is the true and eternal creator, and that's blasphemy.
I think a lot of people, what they're doing now, not just, well, this is something the churches have been doing, but individually, whether people are in camps or individually, by themselves, what's been going on, I see the rage is people are trying to hold on to that part of Christianity. Those who believe they cannot follow the laws or the laws are not for them, that's their spirit. And they're going to do anything they can to justify their belief in the New Testament. So what we have done as a people, right? For the most part, is we establish camps out there. And again, it's biblical, Because what do you read in the scripture? What did the Israelites do? Even before Jacob got anointed, what did he run into? Remember, it says, and he ran into it said camps, makanim, right? And it said, the scripture says he ran into, and he said, surely this must be, because he saw all kind of warriors around, and he said, surely this must be the place of God, and he called that place makanim. So, uh, yeah, go ahead. I'll yield there. I wanted to throw that in conversation piece.
For instance, Soul, you got your sword out.
Todos los dias, all day.
Let me get my book of.
Could you go to 1 John 5:20?
Hold up.
They
Uh,
said
you
they're gonna
said
call
sword?
JC.
My sword don't
They
have that
said
side of that dull side on that.
okay.
He said, Michael, he ain't finna read that out loud. He finna do it to not read. Right.
Y'all ready though? Anybody else want to help read?
I can
Yeah.
help.
All right. Hey, Mike, you can start off with 13, and I'll give you the first and last chapter. You get 13 and 24. Sage, since you dipped out yesterday, I'm gonna punish you. I'm gonna give you 14. I'm gonna give you like 4 chapters. You can go 14 through 17. Um, they'll leave,
You said I
and
got 13,
then
24, right?
yeah, you can get 13 and 24. Sage, 14 through 17, and Hannah, you can get 18 through 20. Devonai, you can get 21, 22, and I'll just chill.
Uh, 13, 24. Numbers.
So we're
Actually,
just doing
wait,
straight
yeah.
reading.
What's up?
I think we're I think the conversation that came up earlier. Are we gonna just do straight reading all the way through? Do you consider, or would you consider, when we get to certain places where key things are mentioned, that we can ponder or discuss it, or you just want to keep it just straight reading all the way through?
If it's something that's something imperative that comes up, I mean, we can take a pause and meditate on that. Yeah,
Okay.
So read
long as
Numbers
it's
chapter
not too long-winded.
read Numbers chapter 13, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Con.
All right. And Yahweh said to Moses, send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. For each ancestors from the tribe sent one of its leaders. Verse 3. So at the at the Yahweh's command, Moshe sent them out from the desert of Paran. All of them were leaders of Israel. There, these are their names for the tribe of Judah. I mean, for the tribe of Reuben, and Shaham, Shaham, Shahama, Shahama, the son of Zakar, from the tribe of Simeon, Shar, Sharbat, the son of Hor, Hariah, from the tribe of Judah, so Salai, the son of Jephthah, from the tribe of Issachar, Legal, Legel, from the tribe of Joseph, from the tribe of Ephraim, Hosea, the son of Nun, from the tribe of Benjamin, the son of Rapha, From the tribe of Zebulon, Gadal, the son of um Sh- son of Shaddai. From the tribe of Manasseh, a tribe of Joseph, Gadai of Suts. From the tribe of Dan, Amal, Amel, the son of Jamai, wait, Jambalai, from the tribe of Asher, the son of Michael, from the tribe of Manasseh, the son of, from the tribe of Gad is the son of um, Makai. These are the names of the men Moses sent to explore the land. Moses gave Hosea the son of Nun the name Joshua. Oh wow! When Moshe set them to explore Canaan, he said, "Go up through the narrow and 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 into the hill country. See what the land is like, and whether the people who live there are strong and weak, few or many. What kind of land What kind of land do they live in? Is it good or bad? Of what kind of town do they live in? Are they unwalled or front? How is it the spoil? Is it full well or poor? Are th- are there trees in it or not? Do your best to bring back some of the fruit of the land. It was the season for first ripe grapes. Verse 21. So they went up and explored the land and the desert of Zen as far and up towards Li- Liboham, where they went up through the and came to the Harbin, where Ammon and she shy Shishai and Tomai, and Tomai, descendants of Anak, live Eban, had have built 7 years before um Zoe in Egypt. Then they reached the valley of Esakol, and cut off a branch. They cut off a branch bearing and single uh, crushed under crushed of the great cruncher of the great. Two of them okay, two of them carried on a pole between them, along with some um po- um, pomegranates and figs. That um place was called the Valley of Gizel because of the culture of the grapes the Israelites cut off there. At the end of the fourth day, they returned from exploring the land. They came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite community at Kadesh in the land of of Paran. There, for they reported them to the whole assembly, and 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 showed them the fruit of the land, and they gave Masha this account. Well, we went into the land to which you sent us, and it it does flow with milk and honey. Here is its fruit. For the people who live there, powerful in the city, um, are fulfilled and very large. We even saw the descendants of An- Anak, Anak there. The Ammonites lived in the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites lived in the hill countries, and the Canaanites lived near the seas and along the Jordan. And silent the people before Moses and said, "We should go up. We should go up and possess the land, for we could we could consider it do it." Right, verse 31. With a man who had with a man who have gone with him said they couldn't uh, they couldn't attack those people. They are strong than we are, and they spread it among the Israelites a bad report among the land. They had report. I mean, they had explored it. They said the land we explored devours um devours those living in it. All the people we saw are the great size. We saw the Nephilim there, the descendants of Enoch, descendants of Enoch come from Nephilim. Um, we seem like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and will we look the same to them. Shalom.
Um, Numbers 14. The whole community then cried out in dismay, and the people wept all that night too. All the Israelites muttered at Moses and Aaron, and the whole community said to them, "Would to God we had died in Egypt, or even that we had died in this desert. Why has Yahweh brought us to this country, for us to perish by the sword, and our wives and children to be seized as booty?" Question. Should we not do better to go back to Egypt? And they said to one another, "Let us appoint a leader and go back to Egypt." At this, Moses and Aaron threw themselves on their faces in front of the whole assembled community of Israelites, while Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, two of the men who had reconnoitred the country, tore their clothes and addressed the whole community of Israelites as follows: "The country we went to reconnoitre is a good country, an excellent country. If Yahweh is pleased with us, he will lead us into this country and give it to us. It is a country flowing with milk and honey." 9. But do not rebel against Yahweh or be afraid of the people of the country, for we shall gobble them up. Their protecting shade has deserted them, while we have Yahweh on our side. Do not be afraid of them. The whole community was talking of stoning them when the glory of Yahweh appeared to the Israelites inside the tent of meeting. And Yahweh said to Moses, "How much longer will these people treat me with contempt? How much longer will they refuse to trust me in spite of all the signs I have displayed among them?" Question. I shall strike them with pestilence and disown them. And of you I shall make a new nation, greater and mightier than they are. Moses said to Yahweh, "Suppose the Egyptians hear about this, for by your power you brought these people out of their country. And tell the people living in this country, they have heard that you, Yahweh, are with this people, and that you, Yahweh, show yourself to them face to face, that your cloud stands over them, and that you go before them in a pillar of a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. If you kill this people now, as though it were one man, then the nations who have heard about you will say, Yahweh was not able to bring this people into the country which he had sworn to give them, and so he has slaughtered them in the desert. No, my Lord, now is the time to assert your power as you promised when you said earlier, Yahweh, slow to anger and rich in faithful love, forgiving faults and transgressions, and yet letting nothing go unchecked, punishing the parents' guilt and the children to the third and fourth generation. 19. In your most faithful love, please forgive this people's guilt, as you have done from Egypt until now. Yahweh said, I forgive them as you ask. But as I live, and as the glory of Yahweh fills the whole world, of all these people who have seen my glory and the signs that I worked in Egypt and in the desert, who have put me to the test 10 times already and not obeyed my voice, not one shall see the country which I promised to give their ancestors. Not one of those who have treated me contemptuously will see it. 24. However, since my servant Caleb is of another spirit, and since he has obeyed me completely, I shall bring him into the country where he has been, and his descendants will own it. The Amalekites and the Canaanites occupy the plains. Tomorrow you will turn about and go back into the desert in the direction of the Sea of Suff. Yahweh then spoke to Moses and Aaron and said, how much longer am I to endure this perverse community muttering against me? I have heard what the Israelites mutter against me. Say to them, as I live, Yahweh declares, I shall do to you what I have heard you saying. In this desert, your dead bodies will fall, all you who were counted in the census from the age of 20 years and over, who have muttered against me. I swear none of you will enter the country where I swore most solemnly to settle you, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. Your children, who you said would be seized as booty, will be the ones whom I shall bring in, so that they get to know the country you disdained. But as for you, your dead bodies will fall in this desert, and your children will be nomads in the desert for 40 years, bearing the consequences of your faithlessness until the last one of you lies dead in the desert. 34. For 40 days, you reconnoitrated the country. Each day will count as a year. For 40 years, you will bear the consequences of your guilt and learn what it means to reject me. I, Yahweh, have spoken. This is how I swear to treat this entire perverse community united against me. In this desert, to the last man, they shall die. The men whom Moses had sent to reconnoitre the country, and who on their return had incited the whole community of Israel to mutter about him by disparaging it. These men who had disparaged the country were all struck dead before Yahweh. Of the men who had gone to reconnoitre the country, only Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh were left alive. When Moses told all the Israelites what had been said, the people set up a great outcry. Early morning, early the next morning, they set out for the heights of the hill country, saying, look, we will set out for the place about which Yahweh said that we have sinned. To which Moses said, why disobey Yahweh's order? No success will come of doing so. Do not go, for Yahweh is not among you, and you will be defeated by your enemies. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are ahead of you, and you will be put to the sword, since you have turned away from Yahweh, and Yahweh is not with you. 44. All the time they presumptuously set off for the heights of the hill country. Neither the ark of the covenant of Yahweh nor Moses left the camp. The Amalekites and Canaanites living in those highlands then came down, defeated them, and harried them all the way to Hormah. Numbers 15. Yahweh spoke to Moses and said, speak to the Israelites and say, when you have arrived in the country where you are to live, and which I am giving you, and you burn food as an offering to Yahweh, either as a burnt offering or as a sacrifice, whether in payment of a vow or as a voluntary gift, or on the occasion of one of your solemn feasts, from your herds and flocks as a smell pleasing to Yahweh. The offerer will, as his personal gift to Yahweh, bring a cereal offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil. You also make a libation of wine, 1/4 of a hin to each lamb, in addition to the burnt offering of sacrifice. For a ram, you will make a cereal offering of 2 talents of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil, of a libation of 1/3 of a hin of wine, as a smell pleasing to Yahweh. If you offer a bull as a burnt offering of sacrifice in payment of a vow, or as a communion sacrifice for Yahweh, in addition to the animal, you will offer a cereal offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with half a hin of oil, and you will offer a libation of one of half of a hin of wine as food burnt as a smell pleasing to Yahweh. This will be done for every bull, every ram, every lamb or kid. Whatever the number of victims you intend to offer, you will do the same for each of them, however many there are. 13. Every citizen of the country will act in this way. Whenever he offers burnt food burnt as a smell pleasing to Yahweh, and if an alien residing with you or with your descendants intends to offer food burnt as a pleasing smell to Yahweh, he will do as you do. There will be one law for you, members of the community, and the resident alien alike, a law binding your descendants forever before Yahweh. You and the resident alien are no different. Before Yahweh, you and the resident alien are no different. One law, one statute will apply for you and the resident alien. Yahweh spoke to Moses and said, "Speak to the Israelites and say, when you have entered the country to which I am bringing you, you will set a portion aside for Yahweh when you eat that country's bread. You will set one cake aside as the first fruits of your dough. You will set this offering aside like the one set aside from your threshing." 21. For all future generations, you will set a portion of your dough aside for Yahweh. If through inadvertence you fail in any of these orders which Yahweh has given to Moses, whatever orders Yahweh has given you or your descendants through Moses, from the day when Yahweh gave his orders, this is what must be done. If it is an inadvertence on the part of the community as a whole will offer a young bull as a burnt offering, as a smell pleasing to Yahweh, with the prescribed accompanying cereal offering and libation, and a he goat as a sacrifice for sin. 25. The priest will perform the rite of expiation for the entire community of Israelites, and they will be forgiven, since it was an inadvertence. Once they have brought their offering as food burnt for Yahweh and have presented their sacrifice for sin before Yahweh to make amends for their inadvertence, the whole community of Israelites will be forgiven, as also the alien residing with them, since the entire people acted in inadvertence. If it is an individual who has sinned by inadvertence, he will offer a yearling kid as a sacrifice for sin. The priest will perform the rite of expiation before Yahweh for the person who has gone astray owing to his sin of inadvertence, and expiation having been made for him, he will be forgiven. Whether he is an Israelite citizen or a resident alien, you will have one law for everyone who sins by inadvertence. But the individual who acts deliberately, be he citizen or alien, commits an outrage against Yahweh, and such a man will be outlawed from his people. Since he has treated Yahweh's word with contempt and has disobeyed his order, such a man will be outlawed absolutely and will bear the consequences of his guilt. While the Israelites were in the desert, a man was caught gathering wood on the Sabbath day. Those who caught him gathering wood brought him before Moses, Aaron, and the whole community. He was kept in custody because the penalty he should undergo had not yet been fixed. Yahweh said to Moses, "This man must be put to death. The whole community will stone him outside the camp." The whole community took him outside the camp and stoned him till he was dead, as Yahweh had ordered Moses. Yahweh spoke to Moses and said, "Speak to the Israelites and tell them, for all generations to come, to put tassels on the hems of their clothes, and work a violet thread into the tassel at the hem. You will thus have a tassel, and the sight of it will remind you of all Yahweh's orders and how you are to put them into practice and not follow the dictates of your own heart and eyes, which have led you to be unfaithful. This will remind you of all my orders. Put them into practice, and you will be consecrated to your God. I, Yahweh, your power, have brought you out of Egypt to be your power, and I, Yahweh, am your power. Number 16, was I reading 16 too, Soul? Or,
Con.
okay. Anybody got anything to say on anything? And then I could just move on. Time. Now, Korah, son of Izhar, son of Kohath, the Levite, and the Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, were proud and rebelled against Moses with 250 Israelites who were leaders of the community, prominent, prominent at the solemn feast, men of repute. These branded together, these banded together against Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You take too much on yourselves. The whole community, all its members, are consecrated, and Yahweh lives among them. Why set yourselves higher than Yahweh's community?" On hearing this, Moses threw himself on his face. Then he said to Korah and all his party, "Tomorrow morning Yahweh will reveal who is his, who the consecrated man whom he will allow to approach him. The one he allows to approach is the one whom he has chosen. This is what you must do. Take the censers of Korah and all his party, put fire in them, and put incense in them before Yahweh tomorrow. And the one whom Yahweh chooses will be the consecrated man. The Levites, you take too much on yourselves." Moses then said to Korah, "Now listen, you Levites. It is not enough for you that the God of Israel has singled you out of the community of Israel and called you to be near him, to serve in Yahweh's dwelling, and to represent the community by officiating on his behalf. Question. He has called you to be near him, you and all your brother Levites with you, and now you want to be priests as well. For which reason you and all your party have banded together against Yahweh himself. For what is Aaron that you must mutter against him?" Moses then summoned Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab. They replied, "We will not come. It is not enough for you to have brought us away from a country flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the desert without your making yourself our absolute ruler. What is more, you have not brought us to a country flowing with milk and honey, and you have not given us fields and vineyards for our heritage. Do you think you can hoodwink these people? We will not come." Moses flew into a rage and said to Yahweh, "Disregard their cereal offering. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, nor have I wronged any of them." Moses said to Korah, "You and all your party, come before Yahweh tomorrow, you and they and Aaron too. Each will take his censer, put incense on it, and bring his censer before Yahweh. 250 censers, you and Aaron too, will each bring his censer. Each of them took his censer, put fire in it, and placed incense on it, and stood at the entrance to the tent of meeting with Moses and Aaron. Then Korah, having assembled the whole community to confront them all at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the glory of Yahweh appeared to the whole community. Yahweh then spoke to Moses and Aaron and said, "Get away from this community. I'm going to destroy them here and now." They threw themselves on their faces and cried out, "Oh Yah, oh Yah, oh power of the spirits that give life to every living thing. Will you be angry with the whole community because one man has sinned?" Yahweh then said to Moses, "Speak to the community and say, 'Stand well clear of Korah's tent.'" Moses stood up and went to Dathan and Abiram. The elders of Israel followed him. He spoke to the community and said, "Stand away, I tell you, from the tents of these sinners and touch nothing that belongs to them, for fear that all of their sins you too will be swept away." So they moved away from Korah's tent. Dathan and Abiram had come out and were standing at their tent doors with their wives, their sons, and their little ones. Moses said, "This is how you will know that Yahweh himself has sent me to perform all these tasks and that I am not doing them of my own accord. If these people die a natural death, such as people commonly die, then Yahweh has not sent me. But if Yahweh does something utterly new, if the earth should open its mouth and swallow them and all their belongings, so that they go down alive to Sheol, then you will know that they held Yahweh in contempt." 31. The moment he finished saying all this, the ground split apart under their feet. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them, their families, all Korah's people, and all their property. They went down alive to Sheol with all their belongings. The earth closed over them, and they disappeared in the middle of the community. At their cries, all the Israelites round them took to their heels, saying, "We do not want the earth to swallow us too." Fire then shot out from Yahweh and consumed the 250 men offering incense.
All right, old Britney
All
Spears can take
praises.
17.
The first sinkhole.
Okay, this is chapter 17. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers, and all their princes according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write thou every man's name upon his rod, and thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi. For one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation for the testimony, where I will meet with you. And it shall come to pass that the man's rod, whom I shall choose, shall blossom, and I will make to cease from me the murmuring of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against me. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, and each prince one according to their father's house, even 12 rods. And the rod of Aaron was among their rods. And Moses laid up the rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded and brought forth buds and bloomed blossoms and yielded almonds. And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord unto the children of Israel, and they looked and took every man his rod. And the Lord said unto Moses, Bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels, and thou shalt quite take away their murmuring from me, that they die not. And Moses did so, and the Lord commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, Behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of the Lord shall die. Shall we be consumed by dying? Chapter 18. And the Lord said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons and and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood, and thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, before thou with thee, that thy that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness, and they shall keep the charge, and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die. And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you. And you shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. And I, behold, I have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel. To you they are given as a gift for the Lord, to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And therefore thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest office for everything of the altar and within the veil, and ye shall serve. I have given your priest office unto you as a service of gift, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offering of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee I have given them by reason of the anointing, and to thy sons by an ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most holy things, reserved from the fire. Every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, every sin offering of theirs, every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and for thy sons. In the most holy place shalt thou eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be hollow unto thee. And this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offering of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons, and to thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. All the beast of all the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, the first fruit of them which they shall offer unto the Lord, them I have given thee. And whatsoever the first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thine house shall eat of it. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Everything that openeth the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of male or beast, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of male shalt thou surely redeem, and the firstling of unclean beast shalt thou redeem. And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shalt thou redeem, according to thy estimation, for the money of 5 shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerah. But the firstling of a cow, and the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, thou shalt not redeem. They are holy. Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shall burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet Savior unto the Lord. And the flesh of them shall be thine, as the wave beast, as the as the wave breast, and as the first shoulder are thine. Verse 19. All the heave offering of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Lord, I have given thee, and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord unto thee and thy seed with thee. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in the land, in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh to the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. And it shall be a statute forever throughout your generation, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heave offering unto the Lord, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore, I have said upon them among the children of Israel, they shall have no inheritance. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithe which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up and the heave offering of it for the Lord, even the 10th part of the tithe. And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. 28. Thus ye also shall offer an heave offering unto the Lord of all your tithes, which ye receive of the children of Israel, and ye shall give thereof the Lord's heave offering to Aaron the priest. Out of all your gifts ye shall offer every heave offering unto of the Lord, of all the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof out of it. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then I shall be counted unto the Levite as an increase of the threshing floor, and as an increase of the winepress, and ye shall eat it in every place, ye and your household, for it is your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation, and ye shall bear no sin by reason of it, when ye have heaved from it the best of it. Neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, lest ye die. Chapter 19. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, this is the ordinance of the law which the Lord hath commanded, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring thee a red heifer without spot, within wherein is no blemish, and upon which never came yoke, and ye shall give her unto Eleazar the priest, that he may bring her forth without the camp, and one shall slay her before his face, and Eleazar the priest shall take of her blood with his finger, and sprinkle of her blood directly before the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times. And one shall burn the heifer in his sight, and her skin and her flesh and her blood with her dung shall he burn. And the priest shall take the cedar wood and the hyssop and scarlet, and cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer. And then the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in water, and afterwards he shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until the even. And he that burneth her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until the even. And a man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and lay them up without the camp in a clean place, and it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel for a water of separation. It is a purification for sin. Mm. And he that gathereth the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. And it shall be unto the children of Israel, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among thee, for a statute forever. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that is dead, and purify not himself, defileth the tabernacle of the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel, because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him. This is the law. When a man dieth in a tent, all that came into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days. And every open vessel which have no covering bound upon it is unclean. And whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in an open field, or a dead body, or a bone or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. And for an unclean person, they shall take of the ashes of the burnt heifer of purification for sin, and running water shall be put therein in a vessel. And a clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water and sprinkle it upon the tent and upon the vessels and upon the person that were slain and upon him that touched a bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean one the third day on the third day, I'm sorry. And on the seventh day he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at even. Verse 20. But the man that shall be unclean and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he have defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water of separation hath not been sprinkled upon him; he is unclean. And it shall be a perpetual statute unto them, that he that sprinkleth the water of separation shall wash his clothes, and he that toucheth the water of separation shall be unclean until the even. And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth shall be unclean, and the soul that toucheth it shall be unclean until even. I'm done.
Hallelujah.
I have a quick question. Once we're done about that, the water and separation.
Con. I think Sister Devana, Brother Matthew, you up here? Would you like to read also? We're reading the book of Numbers. We're on chapter 20. And Sister Devanya, if you're here, if Brother Matthew, you up here, you can take a chapter. And okay, Sister Devanya.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me pop out the Bible app. Let's go. I'm loving this. This is great.
Shalom, everybody. Thank y'all for
I could
staying.
read the next one until she comes.
Yeah, if Devonite can't read, just go through 20 through 21. You can do 20. If she come back, she can hit 21, but just
Yeah, I
go
can
through
No,
read
20.
20. It's short.
anybody here?
Oh,
Are
okay.
you here,
Okay.
Devonite?
No, I've been here.
Okay,
Oh,
she
okay.
there.
All
Yeah.
right, hit 20 through 21. And Matthew, you can read 22 through 23. And Mike going to finish up
Uh,
24.
Numbers chapter 20. Bless the readings of the Most High. Numbers chapter 20, verse 1. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the first month, and the people of Kadesh and Miriam died there. I'm sorry, and the people abode in Kadesh, and Miriam died there, and was buried there, and there was no water for the congregation. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And the people chode with Moshe, and spake, saying, Would Elohim that we have died when our brethren died before the Lord? And why have ye brought up the congregation of the Lord into the wilderness, that ye and our cattle should die there? And wherefore have ye made us to come up out of Egypt, to bring us in unto this evil place? It is no place of seed, or of figs, or vines, or pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink. And Moshe and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces. And the glory of the Lord appeared upon them. And the Lord spake unto Moshe, saying, Take the rod, and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beast drinks. And Moshe took the rod from before the Lord, and he commanded them. And Moshe and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock, and he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? Mm-mm. And Moshe lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord spake unto Moshe and Aaron, Because ye believe me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Yasharel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. This is the water of Meribah. Meribah means bitter. Because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. And Moshe sent messages from Kadesh unto the kingdom of Edom. Thus said the brother Yasharel, Thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt for a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers. And we cried unto the Lord. He heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border. Let us pass, I pray thee, tomorrow through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right nor to the left until we have passed thy borders. And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword. And the children of Israel said to him, We will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. And he said, Thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand. Thus Edom refused to give Yasharel passage through his border. Wherefore Yasharel turned away from him, and the children of Yasharel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. And the Lord spoke unto Moshe and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Yasharel, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there. And Moshe did as the Lord commanded him. And they went up unto Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. And Moshe stripped Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moshe and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Yasharel. Numbers 21. And when King Arad, the Canaanite, right, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Yasharel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Yasharel and took some of them prisoners. And Yasharel vowed unto the Lord and said, If thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Yasharel, and the delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Korma. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea, to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against Elohim and against Moshe. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. And the hate the word Lord. And Elohim sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Yasharel died. We need to talk about that later, guys. Therefore, the people came to Moshe and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto Elohim that he take away the serpents from us. And Moshe prayed for the people. And Elohim said unto Moshe, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moshe made a serpent out of the brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Yasharel set forward and pitched in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth and pitched at Li Abraham, right? Abrim in the wilderness, which is before Moab, toward the sun rising. From thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zarin. From thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is the wilderness that cometh out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Therefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord that he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Anon, and at the stream of the brooks that goeth down the dwelling of Ar that lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they went to Beer, that is the well whereof the Lord spake unto Moses, gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then Yasharal sang this song, Spring, O well, sing ye unto it. The princes dig the well, the nobles of the people dig it, by the direction of the lawgiver with their staffs. And from the wilderness they went to Mattanah, from Mattanah to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley, that is the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looketh towards Leshimon, or Yeshimon. And Yasharel sent messengers unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, saying, let me pass through thy land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along the king's highway until we be past thy borders. And Sihon would not suffer Yasharel to pass through his border. But Sihon gathered all his people together and went out against Yasharel unto the wilderness. And he came to Yakaz and fought against Yasharel. And Yasharel smote him with the edge of the sword and possessed his land from the Arnon unto Yabok, even unto the children of Ammon. For the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all these cities. I gotta, sorry, I have to highlight that. And Yasharel took all these cities, and Yasharel dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites in Heshbon and in the villages thereof. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab and taken all his land out of his hand, even unto Arnon. Therefore, they that spake in Proverbs say, come into Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and prepared. For there is a fire going out in Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It had consumed Ar of Moab and the lords of the high places of Arnon. Woe to thee, Moab! Thou art undone, O people of Chemosh. He hath given his sons that escaped and his daughters into captivity unto Sihon, king of the Amorites. We have shot at them. Heshbon is perished even unto the bone, and we have laid them waste even unto Nophah, which reacheth unto Medeba. Thus Yasharal dwelt in the land of the Amorites. And Moshe sent to spy out Lahazer, and they took the villages thereof, and drove out the Amorites that were there. And they turned and went up by the way of Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, went out against them, he and all his people, to the battle of Edrei. And the Lord said unto Moshe, Fear him not, for I have delivered him into thy hand, and all his people, and his land, and thou shalt do to him as thou did unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Keshbon. So they smote him and his sons and all his people until there was none left him alive, and they possessed the land. Praise Yah.
Matthew, you can take 22 through 23 if you're good to go.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Khan.
Cool. The Israelites set out and camped in the plains of Moab across the Jordan from Jericho. Now Balak, son of Zippor, saw that all that Israel had done to the Amorites. Moab was in great dread of the people because they were so numerous. Moab was overcome with the fear of the people of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, This horde will now lick up all that is around us, as an ox licks up the grass of the field. Now Balak, son of Zippor, was king of Moab at the time. He sent messengers to Balaam, son of Beor, and at Pethor, which was on the Euphrates, in the land of Amwa. What? Amwa, to summon him, saying, A people has come out of Egypt. They have spread over the face of the earth, and they have settled next to me. Come now, curse this people for me, since they are stronger than I. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them from the land. For I know that whomever you bless is blessed, and whomever you curse is cursed. So the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the fees at the divination in their hand, and they came to Balaam and gave him Balak's message. He said to them, Stay here tonight, and I will bring back word to you, just as the Lord speaks to me. So the officials of the Moab stayed with Balaam. God came to Balaam and said, Who are these men with you? Balaam said to God, King Balak, son of Zippor of Moab, has sent me this message. A people have come out of Egypt and has spread over the face of the earth. Now come, curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to fight against them and drive them out. God said to Balaam, You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. So Balaam rose in the morning and said to the officials of Balak, Go to your own land, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you. So the officials of Moab ran. The officials of Moab rose and went to Balak and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Excuse me. Once again, Balak sent officials more numerous and more distinguished than these. They came to Balaam and said to him, Thus says Balak, son of Zippor, do not let anything hinder you from coming to me, for I surely do you great honor, and whatever you say to me I will do. Come curse this people for me. But Balaam replied to the servants of Balak, Although Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the command of the Lord my God, so to do less or more. You remain here as the others did, so that I may learn what more the Lord may say to me. The night that night God came to Balaam and said to him, If the men come to summon you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do. So Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went to the officials of Moab. Balaam, the donkey, and the angel. God's anger was kindled because he was going, and the angel of the Lord took his stand in the road as his adversary. Damn. Now he was riding. Now he was riding on the donkey, and his two servants were with him. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with drawn sword in his hand. So the donkey turned off the road and went into the field. And Balaam struck the donkey to turn back on the road. And the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between vineyards, with a wall on either side. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it scraped against the wall, and scraped Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck it again. Then the angel of the Lord went ahead and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either right or left. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it lay down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey and said to Balaam, "What have I done to you? What have you struck me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you've made a fool of me. I wish I had a sword in my hand. I would kill you right now." But the donkey said to Balaam, "I am not your donkey, or am I not your donkey which you have ridden all your life to this day? Have I been in the habit of treating you this way?" And he said, "No." Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with his sword drawn in his hand. And he bowed down, falling on his face. The angel of the Lord said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? I have come out as an adversary because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. If it had not turned away from me, surely just now I would have killed you and let it live." Hmm. Um, then Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned, for I did not know that you were standing in the road to oppose me. Now, therefore, if it is displeasing to you, I will return home." The angel of the Lord said to Balaam, Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you to speak." So Balaam went on with the officials of Balak. When Balak heard that Balaam had come, he went out to meet him at Moab, on the boundary formed by the Arnon, on the farthest point of the boundary. Balak said to Balaam, did I not send to summon you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you?" Balaam said to Balak, "I have come to you now, but do I have power to just say nothing? Or no, oh, excuse me. I have come to you now, but do I have power to say just anything? The word God puts in my mouth, that is what I must say." Then Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Huzoth. Hmm. Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep and sent them to Balaam and to the officials who were with him. On the next day, Balak took Balaam and brought him up to the Bamoth Baal, and from there he could see part of the people of Israel.
You can go on with 23.
I bet. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Build me 7 altars here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me." Balak did as Balaam had said, and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Stay here beside your burnt offerings while I go aside. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me. Whatever he shows me, I will tell you." And he went to a bare height. Then God met Balaam, and Balaam said to him, "I have arranged the 7 altars, and I have offered a bull and a ram on each altar." The Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, "Return to Balak, and this is what you must say." So he returned to Balak, who was standing beside his burnt offerings with all the officials of Moab. Then Balaam uttered his oracle, saying, "Balak has brought me from Aram, the king of Moab, from the eastern mountains. Come, curse Jacob for me. Come, denounce Israel. How can I curse whom God has not cursed? How can I denounce those whom the Lord has not denounced? Uh, from from the top of the crags I see him. From the hills I behold him. Here is a people living alone, and not reckoning itself among the nations. How can count the dust of Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number the dust cloud of Israel. Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his. Then Balak said to Balaam, what have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies, but now you have done nothing but bless them. He answered, I must not take care to say what the Lord puts in my mouth. Or must I not take care to say what the Lord puts in my mouth? Okay. Balak said to him, come with me to another place from which you may see them. You shall only see part of them, and shall not see them all. Then curse them for me from there. So he took him to the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah. He built 7 altars and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Balaam said to Balak, stand here beside your offerings while I meet the Lord over there. The Lord met Balaam, put a word in his mouth, and returned to Balak, and this is what you shall say. When he came to him, he was standing beside his burnt offerings with the officials of Moab. Balak said to him, what has the Lord said? Then Balaam uttered his oracle, saying, rise, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, O son of Zippor. God is not a human being that he should lie, or mortal that he should change his mind. He has promised. Now, has he promised, and will he not do it? Has he spoken, and will he not fulfill it? See, I received a command to bless. He has blessed, and I cannot revoke it. He has not beheld misfortune in Jacob, nor has he seen trouble in Israel. The Lord their God is with them, acclaimed as a king among them. God, who brings them out of Egypt, is like the horns of a wild ox for them. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, no divination against Israel. Now it shall be said of Jacob and Israel, see what God has done. Look, a people rising up like a lioness and rousing itself up like a lion. It does not lie down until it has eaten the prey and drunk the blood of the slain. Then Balak said to Balaam, do not do not curse them at all, and do not bless them at all. But Balaam answered Balak, did I not tell you, whatever the Lord says, that is what I must do? So Balaam said to no, so Balak said to Balaam, come now, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please God that you may curse them for me from there. So Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor, which overlooks the wasteland. Balaam said to Balak, build me 7 altars here and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me. So Balak did as Balaam had said and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. This guy's very persistent about this. Like, seriously.
Yeah, most I tell you something, man. You better do that thing.
I don't know why the guy keeps trying to
All
curse
right.
him though. I mean, it's been 2 times. I guess he got to learn the third time. It's the third time, maybe the third time's the charm. And now Balaam saw that it had pleased the Lord to bless Israel, so he did
And
not
now,
go as at
uh,
other times.
hey man, we gonna let Mike
Uh,
finish up 24.
Excellent, thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right. All right. Then when Balaam saw that it was pleased Yahweh to bless Israel, he did not resort to the indignation as at other times, but turned his face towards the wilderness. When Balaam looked up and saw Israel encamped tribe by tribe, the spirit of Yahweh came upon him. He spoke his message. The prophet of Balaam of Peor, the prophet of Balaam, the son of Peor, the prophet of one whom eyes sees clearly, the prophet of the one who hears the word of Yahweh. who who sees the vision of the Almighty, who up, obtain and obtain in whom eyes are open. How beautiful are the tents, Jacob, your dwelling place. Jacob, your dwelling place is Israel. Israel, like a valley, they spread out, like a garden besides a river, like aloe plants by Yahweh, like cedars inside the water. The water will flow from the buckets. Their their seas will be abundant water. Their kings will be greater than a, a, a God. Their kingdoms will be exalted. Yahweh brought them. Yahweh brought them out of Egypt. They have the strength of a wild ox. They devours all nations and, and break their bones in pieces with an arrow. Their piece, they piece them like a lion crushes and crouches and lie down, like a lioness who dares to rouch them. Many of these who bless you blessed, and those who curse you be cursed. For Balak's, or then Bal, Bal, Balak's anger burnt against Balaam, and stood and stuck and stuck his hand together and said to him, I I, I summoned you to curse my enemy, but they have blessed them those 3 times. Now let now leave at once and go home. I said, I will reward you handsomely, but Yahweh has kept you from being rewarded. Balaam answered Balak, Did I not tell the message you sent me? Even if Balak gave me all the silver and gold in this pail, I could not do any I could not do anything of my own. According accord, good or bad, to go to go to the commandments, um the commandments of Yahweh, I must say. Only Yahweh said, Now I am back to my people. But come, let me warn you of what this people will do to your people in the days to come. Verse 15. Then he spoke his message. The prophet Balaam, the son of Peor, the prophet of the one who sees clearly, the prophet of the one who hears the word, who has a knowledge from Yahweh, who have knowledge from Yahweh, who sees a vision from Almighty, who falls pro prostrate, and whom eyes are open. I see him, but not now. I behold, but not near. A star will come out of Jacob, as a cedar will rise out of Israel. I will crush the I will crush the foreheads of Moab, the skulls of all the people. Shek, Edom will be inquired. Sheer and his enemy will be conquired, but Israel will grow strong. And I will rule, and I will come out. I will come out of Jacob and destroy the survivors. Yeah, I will come out of Jacob and destroy the survivors of the city. Balaam said to Amalek, and I speak to his message. Amalek was first among the nations, but their end will be utter destruction. Then he saw the Canaanites and spoke his message. During the place of cedar, their nest is set in a rock, like a yet you Canaanites will be destroyed. You, when Asher takes you captive, when 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 he spoke his message, a lot. who lives in who lives who can live when Yahweh does this. Ships will come from um sh- the shores of Syria. Sy- They will subdue Ashar and Eber, but they too will be to ruin. Then Balaam got then Balaam got up and returned home, and Balak and then went his Balak went his own way. Shalom.
All right. So we're done to 13 to 24. Anybody? I know
Oh,
Devin.
praises.
I know Devin and I wanted to go back and touch upon them fiery serpents. If you want to hop into that, we can jump into it.
Oh, praise Yahweh.
Oh, praise yeah. Lord bless the readings. You know what? I'm going to bow out because there's so much that went on with everything that went on there. Do you know how many years went, how many decades went through there that we just read? And it's so much. My brain's I have so many notes. It's too much right now. So I'll bow out and let someone else go. I'll stay back and listen.
Anybody else got anything they want to touch on? Any questions? Anything about what we read, or anything to say?
I think it was real cool. Like it was like that whole Balaam Balak thing where they were just like trying to kill the children of Israel, but ended up basically through through the advocacy of someone else able to, you know, survive and even thrive. Just helping somebody, like, you feel me, getting inspired by God to help brother out. It's fire.
Khan, most High will use who he chooses to use. I don't even think Balaam was an Israelite, but he was I think he was a prophet of some other place, but I mean he used him for his will, and just like he used Cyrus. Cyrus was a Persian, but in Isaiah 45:1, Cyrus is called Messiah in the Hebrew, Mashiach, anointed, and he was used to lead Israel back home and rebuild the temple. So yeah, Most High, if he wants to get something done, he's gonna use what he wants to use.
Hmm. Yeah. Fact.
Especially if you're keeping your eyes on him, he's gonna make sure you're straight.
He,
You know,
he's the king of all the nations.
right? King of
Yeah.
kings,
You
Lord
just
of
gotta have
lords.
your nation gotta be tapped in. That's it.
It's
That's
facts.
fact. In one way or another.
I was feeling for Aaron though when he got his
Yo,
vestment torn.
I was like,
That
damn.
jump.
Yo, boy.
I was feeling.
Yo. I was like, yo, honestly, that was like a slick corporate move, yo. No cap. You gotta scapegoat the guy and kill him, and now your son in power. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Kind of like a Trump move right there. Damn, gee, that's kind of sneaky. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Whew.
that just keeps us humble because Most High, like, it's like you see the people he anointed and he chose out of all those people and the very few people he chose, and majority of them went off at some point, even so much as to lose their position. So it's like how much worse would the average person have done if they was in that position? So like, it keeps you humble. You gotta stay on point You guys, whether you're anointed or not, you always gotta be in that mode of being pleasing in the Most High's eyes and staying on top of your game and straying from your vomit, not entertaining wickedness, staying in that prayer mode and meditation, all that, and abstaining from your prior transgressions. And if put His will above yours, or He will humble you.
Hmm.
I find that the whole like sacrificing the cattle thing to be like the major thing, like it's kind of like, yo, it's like that was their government system. So it was kind of like, yo, this is your taxes y'all paying this year for your sins. You know what I mean? Like it was smooth. It was a smooth operation. Moses had it on lock. I have a question. You guys take this? Do you guys take everything like quite literally to the T, or do you guys take it like kind of like figuratively, like symbolically and stuff like that? Like specifically this story, like
I think there's always a second layer, at least two layers to everything, maybe even a third to everything. Devin Nye and Menelik really go deep into that type, the esoteric stuff and the deeper meanings. I'm in learning mode of all that, but a lot of it really makes sense though, and some things I had prior thoughts about also what they could mean, and they kind of confirm some things to me also. But yeah, yeah, there's definitely double meanings and
Like
hidden meanings in there.
they can always. It's not. They said King David did priestly duties. Um, wait, what he did the ephod and
He ate the showbread. He
yeah,
he did some
I heard
offerings
it's so
for
full
God.
the foolishness earlier
Yeah,
where it says that we had to where it says that he said the dude was like that he don't subscribe to the Tanakh, but he subscribed to the Torah. But the Torah is the foundation. I can't knock him. But how would you reject King David though?
yeah. They're basically skipping past all the prophecies and history and everything. So I mean, you'd have to thoroughly convince me of a lot before I drop everything but Torah. I mean, the whole Tanakh besides Torah. Yeah, it's kind of a stretch for me.
I want to go over some too. Right here. What do y'all get from Numbers 24 and 17?
Numbers 24:17.
24:17. Prophecy that Balaam is given. Who is that talking about? 24:17.
That sounds like David to me.
Huh? I want to know because the brother was disparaging David and he was saying he throwing the Tanakh out and he only gonna be Torah only. Well, if David is in the Torah, because David say he's written in the volume of the book, he's written in the scrolls is written of me, then if David is in the Torah too, are you gonna throw that out next?
They're gonna be stuck on Genesis 1:1 doctrine.
And it says David is king in even in the Torah.
Huh?
So what you gonna do now? You gonna reject that too?
Didn't it say somewhere that Judah was it said something about what was that in Genesis 49, I
Genesis
think.
49, talking about David too.
All right, you said 17.
Numbers 24:17. I'm gonna read it. It says,
It says, I see him,
yeah,
but I'm not. It says, all right. It says, I see him, but I. He says, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star. That's where they got that from. Star will come out of Jacob. The cedar will rise out of Israel. Wow.
Han.
Remember the
Yeah,
star of Bethlehem in the New Testament?
it's the Star of David because it's talking about David, but they
This the
again
star
idolize.
will
They make
come
an
out of
idol out of
Jacob.
it, and that's where they
Hmm.
get that 6 point star. This wasn't saying that we. But you see the difference. You see where they got it from?
But the skulls of all, it don't say to make a 6 point star. He says that
Calling
for the
David the
cedars will
stars
rise out
rising
of
out of Jacob.
Israel. But I will crush the forehead of Moab. Yeah, this is David, I think. Where the skulls of all the people. Wow. And then Israel will grow strong and will and a ruler will come out of, yup, that's David.
As we see, the Most High took it from Saul. So this wasn't
Mm,
talking about Saul. It was talking about David.
oh,
Okay.
David. Because it says a ruler will come out of, wait, let's rephrase that right.
So they basically saying there's no prophets.
Yeah, they basically saying there's no prophecy.
And well, hold up. What chapter was it where they said that there was he was set up a king over them?
I think that was Second Samuel.
But king was already prophesied. David was already, because we know the Most High know everything from beginning to end. So David was always going to be his chosen one, his beloved.
Wait, which one are you looking for, Soul? Brother Soul?
Oh no, I was thinking of I was asking where he says he's gonna set up a king, but also in Deuteronomy 17:15 when they're talking about setting up kings already.
Wait, Deuteronomy 17:15.
It said
And
among
also, if you want to read, so Genesis 49, which goes with Numbers 24.
Oh, the cedar shall not depart. The cedar. Where they use that as Judah, but it's talking about David. Um, um, where the cedar shall not depart from. Wait, how it
Huh?
go? The
The
cedar
scepter.
shall not.
The scepter.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Yeah, it's talking about. That's talking about David.
Deuteronomy 17:15 through 18. In 18, it's saying when you set up a king over you, that's supposed to be of your brethren, and he's supposed to copy the law and with copy the law out of the book from the Levites. So it's already it's already telling you beforehand that there's gonna be a king. So I mean, and that's in the law. That's in Deuteronomy. That's Torah.
If you said,
So they
yeah, that is
trying to say we
law.
never had a king. What's up?
That's definitely a law.
Right. So if it's talking about that we're setting up kings from the people, you're trying to say there was never a king.
So why is it a law?
Exactly.
Exactly. And then we would know that Abraham, if you read other books, was designated like a king. Um, when we go to uh 49, right here in the blessings, right? And it said Judah shall be like a lion's whelp. Excuse me, shall be like a lion's whelp. You stand over your prey, my son, like a lion. He crouches, lie down, a mighty lion who dare rouse him. The scepter shall not pass from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet,
We
until
just
tribute be bought him, and the people render him obedience. Um, he teeters his donkey to the vine, his stock to the foal of a she donkey. He washes his clothes in wine, his robes in the blood of the grapes. His eyes are darkened with wine, and his teeth are white with milk. This talking about David. You can get that in Isaiah 63, coming from Bosworth, dripping in blood. Um, we see he put Edom them under his subjection. So
yep.
this is in
And he
Genesis
put the
speaking
enemy
about
under his
David
feet.
in Genesis. Hmm?
He also put his enemies under his feet.
He put his enemies under his feet. So if David being spoken of in Genesis, being a king,
What
so it was always Yah's plan to actually set a king over
people said
us.
going around saying that it wasn't the most high didn't want a king over us. No, the reason why the most high didn't want a king over us because we were wicked. I mean that our ancestors were wicked. That's the only reason why. As you read down, he tells you what they was doing. And it goes for the as you read throughout the whole book, the same thing, the same pattern goes on and on all throughout the book because our ancestors were wicked. That's why he didn't want. Just like they say that they didn't want. Well, I don't want your Sabbath days or your feasts, because that our ancestors were wicked. That's the only. That's what that's talking about. And as you read farther down, people stop at 11, but when you go farther down, it tells you why the Most High didn't want their feast.
Uh, Shalom, Sister Hannah, welcome back. Anybody want to come up? Anything they heard in the discussion or the reading that stuck out with them? And then I would like to just continue with again Psalms 40:6 when David said, "The volume of the book is written in me." You know, Christ quote that, but we know it's David talking about himself coming in the volume of the book. If we got in Genesis 49, we got Jacob basically prophesying about David. Then we have in Numbers, Moses wrote about David. He didn't write about JC, he wrote about David. Then, like Michael said, with the brother who throwing the Tanakh away and calling David a heathen and all this kind of stuff, is you're going to throw the Torah away too because David is in there. But because we don't really dwell into what we reading, that's why I was like, when we was talking about going back, because we'll read, like Michael, you just read over, you read that 24, right?
Yes, I did. When it says
And
that,
didn't you skip right past that?
huh?
I said when you read it when you read it the first time, it didn't stick out to you the way it did when you just honed in on that verse.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It went over my head the first time. I just stopped. I was like, whoa! I started thinking about. It talks about when when the star shall come out of Jacob, and I thought about when it was talking about the star shall come out of Bethlehem. That's a contradiction. This dude trying to be David.
Tried to make Christ David. Con. Psalms 2:7. That's the most high talking to David. He said, "This day have I begotten you. This day have I fathered you, and I shall give you the scepter and the world as your kingdom." So he said, David gonna rule the world.
Mm,
We know the first time he didn't rule the world. We just gotta be honest. But he say Psalms 2 and 7. Look at that promise he's given him. And then it's reiterated in Psalms 110 and by David's servant, who said, Yahweh said unto my Lord David, I shall give you all the kingdoms. He sit at my right hand, all, and you are to order after Mel. But he wasn't saying the way the Christianity make Melchizedek, saying he's a righteous king. That's what
Hmm.
Melchizedek was.
And
That's a title. That's a title. It's a
wait, I'm about to
righteous
give you
king.
scripture where David was anointed.
Ah,
Well,
so it's a difference when reading something and then going back, because I had to read it a few times. I kid you not, a few times reading this Tanakh, and then certain gems will pop out that I'm like, hold on. I know I read Leviticus. I know I read such and such, and this like somebody just put this here, but we know it's been there. It's just the Most High levels up our understanding, and that's why just reading it one time, most people haven't done that, but just reading it one time and think that they have the whole thing figured out, you fooling yourself. Shalom, everybody. Anybody wanted to dig into anything that they read, that they heard read, or that anything resonated with them? We just going through the scriptures, reading. We just read Numbers. Um, and so could you give let them know about tomorrow? I guess what time you're going to be starting the room, because we're trying to do at least reading like every night. We can get together and all of us read.
this First Samuel 16. Wait, he was anointed 3 times. Wait,
Khan, he was anointed three
uh,
times.
let me go to.
Hey, all the kings was either anointed in the book, or like it said they were a king, right?
Yeah,
Con,
Menelec, did you see that when we went to Numbers 24 and 17 and see that where they got that Star of David from?
con.
Oh man, something.
Chapter 16 was good too. If y'all want to go back into, I want to know what y'all
it
think of
says,
it.
Yes, it
it
was.
says in First Samuel 16 and 13. And Samuel took the horn of the oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers. And from the days on the spirit of Yahweh came powerfully upon David. And 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 Samuel then went to Ramash. Well, now the spirit of Yahweh had departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from from Yahweh tortured him. Wait, no, I went, but I wanted to show when David was anointed.
Con. Hey, could you also go to the verse where Zerubbabel was anointed as king?
What scripture?
I don't know where it's at.
It has to be in Zechariah. Zechariah 6.
It might be
Wait,
chapter 4.
said chapter 4.
Con. I think that's where they say it's at.
That's when he had the crown on his head, right? Of Tafra. Wait, the crown of the Nazarite crown, right?
I don't know if he had that, but I'm trying to go to where it says like the two anointed ones.
I think
Okay, I
it's
got it. I got it right here. Zechariah 4 and 12. I'll start with 12. And I went to ask him, what is the meaning of the two olive branches discharging oil, excuse me, through the two golden openings? He replied, do you not know what they are? I said, no, my Lord. He said, these are the two anointed ones in attendance of the Most High, the God of the whole world. This is the word of Yahweh with regards to Zerubbabel, not by might and not by power, but by my spirit, says Yahweh. So that's Zechariah 4 and 14.
Whoa, mine don't say that for some reason.
What you will say?
It might be kind of loud in here, but it says, and I raised my voice a second time and said to him, what are the two olive branches beside the two golden vats that empty out the golden oil from themselves? And he spoke to me, saying, do you not know what these are? And I said, no, I denied. And he said, these are the two anointed ones who stand before all of the earth. Hold on, it might be in 5. Nah, that all that other stuff wasn't in there for me. It's like they tried to stretch it on Zechariah, on Zerubbabel right there.
Yeah, it says the whole world right here in mine.
What
Yup,
version
Both.
both
is
was
that?
anointed.
Yeah,
Joshua
mine
and
say who stand in attendance. They're like of the whole world. This is the word of Yahweh.
What's the
Con, could
version?
somebody go into the language on that last verse and see if it's in there?
Okay, go to the Strongs 4:14.
What's the version you guys are reading from?
Zechariah 4:14. You Menelek, you there? Can you get there? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I gotta come out here. They over here. They
Okay.
super
Oh, okay, I
loud
got
in
it. I
here.
got it. Zechariah 4:14 says, yeah, say the same of the whole earth, which is eretz, from the root word meaning from the earth, a partial, um, a land, partial land. So it don't have to be the whole world or land. It's just land.
Wait, could
It
you read
means
that? Read it how your verse go again? One time, complete
eretz.
me for me, please.
Yeah, it's eretz. You know what's that word? You know how
Yeah,
to
that's
pronounce
like
it.
the land.
Eretz,
Yeah. Could you read
land,
the verse
land.
for me? How I read one more time though. Like,
Then said he, these are the two anointed ones that stand by the Lord, well, Yah, of the whole earth. So they say earth.
yeah. I thought I heard something different last time, like about
Mine say world.
Zerubbabel. Right? I thought I heard something. I might be tripping, but I thought I heard something like more about like Zerubbabel after that. But like,
Oh,
yeah,
got
hold
his
on. Let me,
name on it.
yeah.
you talking about the signet ring, right?
Well, now like
Yeah, yeah.
the
It
first
do
time I
got a
heard it,
name in it. You right.
that's what I'm
Signet,
You
yeah.
saying.
right. You right. Cause mine say, and these are the two anointed ones in the attendance of Yah of the whole world. These is the word with regard to Zerubbabel, not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, says Yahweh. But when you go to the it don't say that. You right.
Calm,
Yeah,
calm,
even in the King James,
calm.
it don't say
I
Zerubbabel
think it
name at
talks
all.
Yeah,
about the
because
signet.
Zerubbabel,
Zerubbabel.
he wasn't really a king. He was like a governor of like a single province.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to
But these
like,
are the two anointed ones,
yeah,
So
right?
what
yeah.
The-
translation
Uh,
using
So
though?
why leave his name out? It said because it say not by power, not by might, but by my
It
spirit.
says
Wait, which verse?
that
And
Wait,
it said
hold on one second, y'all. Which verse was that, Sage? Because with his name in it, I'm trying to look at it too. Hold on.
Jerusalem. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat too.
Con.
also
Okay. Let me
also
try to go to it too.
Zerubbabel wore the crown.
Well, this is what it say.
Huh?
It say,
So,
and I raised my voice a second time to him. What are the two olive branches besides the two golden vats that empty out the golden oil from themselves? And he spoke to me, saying, do you not know what these are? And I said, no, Adonai. And he said, these are the two anointed ones who stand before Yahweh of all the earth. That's all it say for me. It don't say nothing about no Zerubbabel, or because Zerubbabel was not a king. He was a governor of a province.
Yeah, but the only thing is that he was chosen to be, him and Joshua was chosen to be the two leaders.
Khan, I
Remember, they
agree with
put the
that.
two crowns on their head,
I agree with that. But
yup.
he
and they
he's
wasn't the
not.
king
Stay.
He
because
didn't.
Cyrus was the king.
Exact. Yes, I agree. I agree 1000% with that.
That's
So
why